What is up everybody? Welcome back to Dakar Desert Rally, and in this video I did want to go over something I'm sure many players have been thinking about a lot recently. That's going to be the free roam that was added into the game in the recent 1.006 patch, so I have been playing a good amount of this. I've also been going after a lot of the treasures and stuff like that, which I am going to make a separate video talking about the treasure hunt. That's honestly a whole different topic, but overall guys, I would say many people are most likely going to be very mixed on the free roam that's currently in Dakar Desert Rally, so I have been playing this a good amount recently, and I can definitely see why this is annoying many players. One thing I do have to admit though is at least the areas you can spawn into are going to be very big. I was noticing like 400 kilometers or so of areas that you can drive around and kind of mess around with. I know like the scale of the map might be like kind of small or whatever people are saying, but at least there's some areas you can definitely mess around and kind of get lost in for a little bit and stuff like that. But I can definitely see where people are coming from with this. So one of the first things I did notice, guys, and I also was looking at some of the comments and also looking at what people were saying on Reddit as well. So if you guys were wondering, you can basically only drive in each area that you do spawn into. For example, like Neom or the Red Sea and stuff like that. You can only drive in those areas. If you do drive away or too far in one of those areas, the game's basically going to kick you out. You can't actually travel from area to area, which I think would be kind of insane, but then again, they probably weren't actually designing the free roam to be like that, at least at the moment. This could come in the future in like a later patch and stuff like that, but I can definitely see why this is going to annoy many people though, because you can't actually travel from place to place and you're basically only locked into that one area. One thing guys I also got kind of annoyed about as well is the fact that you can't actually open a map or anything when you're in the game itself driving around, so I really don't know why they did this. Like, I thought it would be kind of cool to actually look at your map in like the menu and look around when you actually are to see if you do want to go back to a certain place, or even setting a marker down somewhere would be kind of cool, like how the markers were set up in Elden Ring, for example. Like, you put it down, it would show up on your mini map or something, so you have a general idea of where you need to go. Something like that. I wouldn't expect the actual waypoint thing to be set up like GTA or the Crew 2, but hopefully in the future we will get some type of update that will allow us to actually look at the map in the menu. I think that's definitely going to be needed. I'm also really surprised they did not actually add that into the game. So right now guys, all you basically have is that mini map on the bottom right. That's the only way to navigate the entire area that you're in. So hopefully in the future we will be able to actually look around the map just a little bit easier. This would also help tremendously with the treasure hunts as well, instead of basically guessing where you need to go for that matter. So hopefully in the future they will add a proper feature to where you can actually view the map in the menu. I really do think that would help tremendously with basically traversing each area and stuff like that. One thing I did see though, I would say one of the biggest complaints about this update is the fact that it's not actually free roam. You really can't go explore every single area from spawning into one place, so hopefully guys they will have something changed with that in the future. Let me know what you guys think about that as well in the comments below. Now, one last thing I did want to talk about that I found pretty interesting about this is, sure, you guys can drive around with the vehicles and all that, and you can crash them and, repair them when you need to. One thing I find insanely annoying, though, is the fact that if you guys are riding an ATV or a dirt bike and you do crash somewhere, you spawn all the way back in the beginning of the entire starting point of that area, which, to be honest, I feel like this is a very poor design, because if you are going after like a crate or something, and you're like 120 kilometers away from that starting point, you will have to drive all the way back over there. I really don't know why they did it like this, but hopefully that's going to be fixed as well. Like if I do happen to hit a rock or something like that, or I hit a tree, or I jump way too high and I end up crashing, can I please just spawn right there after crashing instead of spawning all the way back to the starting point? What's kind of funny though is if you guys are going after the treasures in the game as well, if you do happen to grab one of them and you do crash or something, you'll spawn back to that point, almost like a starting point to where that treasure was. So hopefully they can add something back into the game where if you do crash though, you will spawn right there instead of all the way at the starting point, which I do think is probably going to annoy many players and almost make a lot of people not even run the bikes and or the ATVs, mostly because of that reason. So I definitely found that to be pretty annoying when trying to free roam and go after stuff, because if you do crash, you're going to be like, oh man, that's 150 kilometers away. Be prepared to drive all the way back over there once again. But let me know what you guys think about the free roam in the comments below, and what are some things you think it needs to make it a better experience. I guess one way you can look at it is the fact that it is going to be like a foundation. They can always add stuff to it later on, like maybe opening the entire map up so you don't have to spawn into one location, or if you do crash your bike or something, you don't actually have to spawn all the way back to the starting point. And then the biggest thing I would say, even more important than actually opening up the entire map, is the fact of giving us an actual map we can look at in the menu, so at least we know where we're going to be going for that matter. But again, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'm glad Dakar's going in the right direction, at least with every update.